Hi, this is Alliah Aragon from 2ITB and this is our midterm project. Student Enlistment System. This is designed to manage all the activities involved during the student enlistment process. In this project, the connection between the two classes here are associated with their objects. It has one-to-one, one-to-many, and many-to-many relationships. The multiplicity in this part shows how an object communicates with each other objects. This also shows how they use its functions and the roles that will communicated on its object. For example, in one-to-one, the student has student ID number and the student number is only applicable for herself. For one-to-many, the student can have one course but a course can have one or more students. For example, the BSIT course can have one or more students in our university. For like that. Last, many to many, a student can have multiple objects and a subject can have much of student.
Good day, my name is Divine Grace Rife. Today I will explain the flow of our program. First, in creating a new student record, when the user want to create a new student record, the user will choose in the list and then choose number 1, which is the create new student record, and input it. After the user input the number 1 in the list, the student ID appeared and the user will input their student ID. After the student ID, next is the student first name and last name, and then their course. Next, the create subject record. In this part, if the user want to add a new subject, the program will ask the user to add their subject ID, the subject name, and the number of units. To enlist a subject to a student, the program showed the search ID number and then asking the user to enter their ID number and the subject will be enlisted.
Hello, my name is Vincent Demejer. Today I will explain to you the remove a subject from a student and display details of a student. First, remove a subject from a student. This function is to delete the roll student record for the given roll number. Second, display details of a student used to implement an associative array, a structure that can map keys to values. To display the details of a student, a hash table uses the hash function to compute an index into an array of buckets or slots, from which the correct value can be found. Like in the remove subject, this function is to display the student record for the given roll number.
Good day, I'm Arnold Carillo, and today I will explain my part in this presentation. In display all details of all students, if the user chose this, it will display all details of the student in the list with their own listed subject details. Then it will display all details of all students. Then next is display In display all student detail and listed in a selected subject. If the user chooses this, it will display all the details of the students according to a selected subject through a valid subject ID entered by the user. Then it will display all student details enlisted in a selected subject. Thank you.
For our omelet, we use student as a parent and subject and main as a child. Inside the student box, we have private int ID, private string first name, private string last name, private string course, private subject, and we also have public student with inheritance variable int ID, string first name, string last name, and string course. And we have public int get ID, public string get first name, public string get last name, public string get course. And we have public void set ID, public void set first name with inheritance string first name, and public void set last name with inheritance string last name, plus public void set course with inheritance string course, and public string get student details, public string get full details, public assign subject, public void assign subject with inheritance subject, and public string display student, and public display full details, public string display full details. And for the child main, inside the child main box, we have public void add subject, public void search subject, public void modified subject, public void remove subject, public void display subject, public string cleaner with inheritance string input string type, public void add student, public void enlist student, public void modify student, public void remove student, public void search student, public display, public void display student, and public void display full details. And for the last one is public string cleaner 1 with inheritance string input and string type. And for the last box, the last child, we have the inside the box we have private int subject ID, private string subject name, private int units, private student, and the list array, private list. And public subject with inheritance variable int subject ID, string subject name, int units. Plus we have subject, we have public int subject ID, public void set ID, public string get subject name, public void set subject name with inheritance variable string subject name, public int get units, public void set units with inheritance int units, public string get subject details, public get full details, public public string get full details, public string display. Thank you.